Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Sunday. Um, Big slate today, 15 matchups as we close out this weekend. So, yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. And go ahead and check out the sponsor of the channel, Parlay Play. If you guys like player props, go ahead and check that out as well. And yeah, we'll hop in it. Yesterday was brutal. It was. We had a lot of teams sell and a lot of bad losses, but that's just how it is, man. And let's hopefully we can close this week off because I know a lot of us need it. So yeah, we'll hop in it. 15 matchups, starting with the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Washington Nationals. Phillies opening up as road favorites at -170. The Nationals +150 with the over/under at 9.5. Pitching for the Phillies is Zach Eflin with an ERA of 4.28. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, and had 4 strikeouts. Pitching for the Nationals is Jackson Taytrolt with an ERA of 15.75. He's only pitched 1 time this season, which was like a week ago. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 7 runs, and had 2 strikeouts. Phillies, they've been dominant against Washington. They're on a 4-game winning streak against the Nationals. Nationals on an 8-game losing streak. They just can't get it together right now. And Philly on a 10-game winning streak against Washington. 10-0 on the road against Washington. Yeah, I like the Phillies on the road. Don't trust Jackson on the mound for the Nationals. Giving up 7 runs in his first start. Gonna be tough against this Phillies team. I'm taking the Phillies on the road. Next matchup, we have the San Francisco Giants versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Giants opening up as road favorites at -185. The Pirates +155 with the over/under at 8.5. Pitching for the Giants is Alex Cobb with an ERA of 5.73. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, and had 8 strikeouts. Pitching for the Pirates is Mitch Keller with an ERA of 5.07. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, and had 2 strikeouts. Yeah, Giants beating up Pitt yesterday 7-5 on a 2-game winning streak against Pittsburgh right now. 8-2 in their last 10. Pitt just 1-9 in their last 10 right now. Pitt is definitely struggling. 1-11 in their last 12. It's been a very rough spot for them. I just don't trust the Pirates. I really don't. I'm liking the Giants on the road here. Do what you want with the Pirates. I just don't like picking teams that are on bad losing streaks because it's a very stressful bet the whole time, and I'm not going to go through that. I'm going to take the Giants on the road. Next matchup, we have the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Boston Red Sox. Boston opening up as home favorites at -150. The Cardinals +130 with the over/under at 9. Pitching for the Cardinals is Andre Palante with an ERA of 1.46. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 4 strikeouts. Pitching for the Red Sox is Nick Pivetta with an ERA of 3.50. His last start, he pitched 8 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 3 strikeouts. Yeah, St. Louis. Dominant game yesterday against the Red Sox, winning 11-2. I mean, yeah, great underdog performance for the Cardinals yesterday. I like Palante on the mound. He's only given up 1 run in his 2 starts of the season so far. Crazy, the Cardinals are getting plus money the way they looked yesterday, and Palante's been good in his first 2 starts. Again, I'm gonna take another shot with the Cardinals +1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Baltimore Orioles. Tampa Bay opening up as a road favorite at -150. Baltimore +130 with the over/under at 8. Pitching for the Rays is Corey Kluber with an ERA of 3.50. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 3 strikeouts. Pitching for the Orioles is Jordan Lyles with an ERA of 5.10. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 7 runs, and had... he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 7 strikeouts. Lyles has given up 14 runs in his last 3 starts on the mound. Kluber's only given up 4. Tampa Bay getting a nice win against Baltimore yesterday, 7-6. Still pretty close. Tampa Bay is 17-3 against Baltimore, where they've been pretty dominant. I just don't trust Lyles on the mound. He gives up a lot of runs in his starts, and I'm not in love with that. I'm taking the Rays on the road. Next matchup, we have the New York Yankees versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Yankees opening up as road favorites at -160. Toronto +135 with the over-under at 9. Pitching for the Yankees is Luis Severino with an ERA of 2.80. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 10 strikeouts. Pitching for the Blue Jays is Yusei Kikuchi with an ERA of 4.80. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs, and had 4 strikeouts. Yeah, Yankees, they've been dominant against Toronto so far, winning 12-3 and then 4-0 yesterday. They're on a 9-game winning streak. Toronto on a 3-game losing streak. Been a rough little stretch for the Blue Jays here. Really loving the Yankees, man. They've just been playing so good. Severino, been great on the mound. Kikuchi has given up 11 runs in his last 3 starts. Been kind of rough. Severino's only given up 1 run in his last 2 starts here. I like the Yankees. I know a lot of people are going to like Toronto getting plus money, man, but they just haven't showed up this series. And I don't know what's going on, but Yankees are just playing too hot to avoid. I'm taking the Yankees on the road. Next matchup, we have the Miami Marlins versus the New York Mets. Mets opening up as home favorites at -140. The Marlins +120 with the over-under at 7. Pitching for the Marlins is Sandy Alcantara with an ERA of 1.68. His last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 2 runs, and had 5 strikeouts. Pitching for the Mets is Chris Bassett with an ERA of 3.89. His last start, he pitched 8 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 7 strikeouts. Miami losing to the Mets yesterday, 3-2. They're on a 3-game losing streak. Mets on a 3-game winning streak. Mets are 12-1 at home right now, where they're playing very good. Bassett coming off a no-run game, but his 2 games prior, he's given up 9 runs. Alcantara's only given up 2 runs in his last 3 starts. He's been very good on the mound this entire season here. I'm liking the Marlins +1.5 on the road. Covered yesterday. I know Mets are good at home, but Sandy is very good on the mound, doesn't give up runs. So I'm going to take the Marlins +1.5. Next matchup, we have the Milwaukee Brewers versus Cincinnati Reds. Brewers opening up as road favorites at -145. The Reds +125 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Brewers is Adrian Hauser with an ERA of 4.21. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 3 strikeouts. Pitching for the Reds is Mike Minor with an ERA of 7.36. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Minor's given up 12 runs in his last 3 starts on the mound. Been kind of tough for him. Milwaukee on a 2-game winning streak against Cincinnati, beating them yesterday 7-3. Cincinnati just 3-7 in their last 10. Yeah, I like the Brewers on the road. Don't really trust Mike Minor. He's definitely prone to giving up some runs every game. And Brewers playing pretty well against Cincinnati so far in this series. I'm going to take the Brewers on the road. Next matchup, we have the Texas Rangers versus the Detroit Tigers. Rangers opening up as road favorites at -150. Detroit +130 with the over-under at 8. Pitching for the Rangers is Dane Dunning with an ERA of 4.04. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 4 strikeouts. Pitching for the Tigers is Drew Hutchinson with an ERA of 4.58. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, and had 1 strikeout. Detroit, what a performance yesterday, winning 14-7 just out of nowhere. After 4 games before that, they didn't score. They scored 1, didn't score, scored 1. They scored 2 runs before that in their last 4 matchups, and then they just pump out 14 runs. Baseball is insane, and it's just how it always is going to be. And Detroit is definitely due for a crazy game like that. That's just how it goes. Pretty even pitching matchup, honestly. This one's a tough one here. Is Detroit going to pump out 14 runs again? I sure don't think so. Against the Rangers so far, prior, they've only scored 1 run in the first 2 games. I'm going back with the Rangers on the road. I think Detroit got their 1 win of this series. They were due. I think the Rangers bounced back because they've been good in this series. They just had 1 bad game, which was yesterday. I'm taking the Rangers on the road. Next matchup, we have the Atlanta Braves versus the Chicago Cubs. Braves opening up as road favorites at -165. The Cubs +140 with the over-under at 8.5. Pitching for the Braves is Ian Anderson with an ERA of 4.81. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 3 strikeouts. Pitching for the Cubs is Kyle Hendricks with an ERA of 4.95. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 6 strikeouts. Yeah, the Braves on a 2-game losing streak against the Cubs. Crazy, because Cubs were on an 8-game losing streak. Now they're on a 2-game winning streak. I just don't know why Atlanta's struggling against the Cubs. I just don't get it. It's disappointing. Been killing everyone's parlays. Are the Cubs going for 3-0 here? Are they going to win 3 on the Braves? Gosh, this is so tough because, man, I definitely don't want that to happen. I'm sticking with the Braves. I'm doing it. If they lose 3 in a row, might be time to put the Braves in the doghouse for like a week. But I'm taking the Braves on the road. I just don't think they're going to get 3-0 down. Let's just hope not. Let's be positive. Do what you want with the Cubs. Take them +140. I like the Braves to bounce back. I think people are doubting the Braves now. I'm taking the Braves on the road. Next matchup, we have the San Diego Padres versus the Colorado Rockies. Padres opening up as road favorites at -130. The Rockies +120 with the over-under at 12.5. Pitching for the Padres is Blake Snell with an ERA of 5.04. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 7 strikeouts. Pitching for the Rockies is Antonio Senzatella with an ERA of 4.79. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, and had 4 strikeouts. Colorado on a 2-game winning streak against the Padres. They've played very well in this series so far. San Diego, for some reason, they're just 0-9 against Colorado on the road, where they have struggled. And pretty even pitching matchup here. Both pitchers giving up runs. I'm going to take another shot with the Rockies +1.5. Haven't been impressed with the Padres. Their line is there were favorites like that yesterday and lost. Not in love with the Padres. They just can't beat the Rockies on the road for whatever reason it is. They just can't do it. So we'll take the Rockies +1.5 at home. Next matchup, we have the Kansas City Royals versus the Oakland Athletics. Royals opening up as road favorites at -145. Oakland +120 with the over-under at 7.5. Pitching for the Royals is Brady Singer with an ERA of 4.24. His last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Pitching for the Athletics is Jared Koenig with an ERA of 11.25. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 6 runs, had 3 strikeouts. He's given up 10 runs in his only 2 starts this season so far. Kansas City on a 2-game winning streak against Oakland. Oakland's only scored 1 run so far against Kansas City. Been very tough for Oakland, and not in love with Koenig on the mound. Been giving up 10 runs in his only 2 starts. I'm going to take the Royals on the road. Next matchup, we have the Cleveland Guardians versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers opening up as home favorites at minus 160. The Guardians plus 135 with the over-under at 7.5. Pitching for the Guardians is Shane Bieber with an ERA of 3.14. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, and had 7 strikeouts. Pitching for the Dodgers is Andrew Heaney with an ERA of 0. His only 2 starts of the season, hasn't given up a run for the Dodgers, which is kind of crazy. Been pretty dominant in his only 2 starts. Dodgers winning yesterday 7-1. Looked very good yesterday. Yeah, love Heaney on the mound. Hasn't given up a run this year in his 2 starts. Let's see if that trend continues. I love that. I'm going to take the Dodgers at home. Next matchup, we have the Los Angeles Angels versus the Seattle Mariners. Seattle opening up as home favorites at minus 175. The Angels plus 145 with the over-under at 7.5. Pitching for the Angels is Kenny Rosenberg with an ERA of 7.50. Don't even really have pitcher information on him, which is never a good sign. Pitching for the Mariners is Logan Gilbert with an ERA of 2.22. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 6 strikeouts. Seattle on a 2-game losing streak against the Angels right now. Angels are 3-1 in their last 4 against Seattle right now. Seattle coming off a rough game yesterday where they didn't even get a run. Seattle just 2-6 at home against the Angels, where they've struggled right now. I'm not in love with paying minus 175 for the Mariners. I just think that's pretty rough, honestly. I just don't want to do that. I'm going to take the Angels plus 1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Minnesota Twins versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Twins opening up as road favorites at minus 120. Arizona plus 100 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Twins is Chris Archer with an ERA of 3.35. His last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 3 strikeouts. Pitching for Arizona is Merrill Kelly with an ERA of 3.68. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 5 runs, and had 7 strikeouts. Minnesota beating Arizona 11-1 yesterday. Very nice win for them. Pretty even pitching matchup here between the 2 pitchers. Minnesota 1-5 on the road against Arizona, where they have struggled. Super tight spread and money line value here. I'm going to take a shot with Diamondbacks plus 1.5 at home. And then the last matchup, we have the Chicago White Sox versus the Houston Astros. Houston opening up as home favorites at minus 180. The White Sox plus 150 with the over-under at 8. Pitching for the White Sox is Michael Kopech with an ERA of 1.92. His last start, he pitched only 1 inning, gave up 0 runs, had 0 strikeouts. Pitching for the Astros is Christian Javier with an ERA of 3.20. His last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, and had 7 strikeouts. White Sox beating Houston yesterday 7-0. Very disappointing game for Houston. Definitely killed a lot of people's parlays because, with Justin Verlander on the mound, they were monster favorites and they just got destroyed, which sucks. And Kopech hasn't given up a run in his last 2 starts. Laying minus 180 on Houston, I just think it's a very risky as we close this weekend out, coming off a horrible performance yesterday. So I'm going to take a shot with the White Sox plus 1.5 on the road. And that's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Sunday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Monday. Have a good one.